Assalamu alaikum guys, I hope you're doing well. So you might have heard about this term Docker, Kubernetes, containerization or container. So what is all these buzzwords? So let's try to simplify these words. So today we will discuss about primarily focused on Docker. So what is Docker? So Docker is like a shipping container for software, just like you might have seen shipping containers that is getting transported through ships. Similar. So the similar is a concept here with regards to Docker. So Docker is like a shipping container for software. So just as containers carry goods across lands and sea, Docker packages up an application along with its environment, libraries, dependencies, configurations so that it can easily be transported and run anywhere without worrying about the compatibility issues. So that is the whole idea of Docker. So let's see an example of it. So imagine that you have a Python web application that uses Flask and PostgreSQL database. You can create a Docker container that includes your Python code and the Flask framework, your PostgreSQL database, so that this ensures that your applications runs the same way on your local machine in a test environment and as well as in production. So what problem does it solve, this Docker technology or container technology? So we'll understand using these use cases. So let's say you are a developer working on a team with others who use different operating systems. So Docker basically allows everyone to have a consistent development environment, regardless of whether they are using Windows or any operating system, Windows, Mac OS, Linux. So this consistency basically avoid the classic problem. You know, you might have heard developer talking, okay, it works on my machine, but it does not work on the production server, or it does not work for the client server. So Docker comes here and tries to solve this issue. So it also reduces time spent on debugging environment specific issues because if I am developing any software on my personal laptop, so if I deploy it on a production server, those dependency might not be there in the production servers or in the remote servers. So this Docker technology can help you streamline this process, and it will prevent you from having this problem, this classic problem. It works on my machine, but it does not work on the client's machine. So basically what it does, it completely packages everything, your code, your dependency, your frameworks, everything in a container, and then you can take this container and host it in a Docker based technology. So that is the use cases. So let's try to understand what is the difference between virtualization and Docker. So you might have heard about the virtualization technologies. You might have used probably VMware or VirtualBox in your personal laptops or computers. So how does these two are different? So let's try to understand that. So on the left hand side you have a virtual machine, and on the right hand side you have a Docker. So let's analyze how the layers work in virtual environment. So you have a server, and then on you have a hardware server. On it you have your host kernel or operating system, and then on top of it you have the hypervisor. You have the hypervisor, and on top of this you can have the guest operating system. It can run Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and then on top of each of these operating system you'll have your libraries and your binaries files, and then you will on top you'll have applications that are running on it. Okay, so this is how a virtualization technology works on the right hand side you have the Docker technology. So the underlying nature of this Docker technology is you have a server, and then on top of it you have a host operating system, and then on top of it you have a Docker engine, and this Docker engine have various Docker containers. So these each specific containers will have your binaries, your libraries, and your each applications within a container. So this is how the difference is between a virtualization versus a Docker technology. So I hope you like this video, and I will see you guys in another video. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.